And welcome to another edition of In the Zone's Race Talk Live online. Bill Gritt and Bobby Potts with you tonight. Our featured guest tonight, Tyler Frye, somewhere across town. One of the guests close by was Jeff Olson. We're going to stick on Jeff for a few minutes and talk to him about racing, what he plans to do. I know where one of Jeff's old cars is sitting. Not quite sure what you're going to do with that one.
Well, that's the one we're going to start the season off with.
That one?
Yep. In fact, we just talked to a new sponsor the other night and made the commitment to go ahead and come out. And, of course, last year we'd planned on coming out and didn't get a chance to, but we're going to come out this year and with some new sponsorship and just start with the old car.
You going to run weekly?
I don't know yet.
That's a huge commitment, isn't it?
It is for me. But we're planning. Let's say we're planning on it right now.
Are you going to be doing the sport mod class again?
Yeah, we're going to do the sport mod class again. There was a couple other little things that might sneak up next year that we really haven't told anybody about, but we'll see if that develops.
You know, that sport mod class, it's kind of needing you guys to come back a little bit. Like, of course, Tyler Frye, he's going to tell us here a little bit about his news, but he's no longer in the sport mod class, and Curtis Peel is moving up to the modifieds, and I know there's going to be a couple others. Maybe Daniel Gottschalk, not for sure on that, but yeah, so we need the sport mods out there again.
Yeah, it's a fun little class. I enjoyed running with the guys. I mean, the competition's awesome, really. You had people like Tyler Frye and Gottschalk, and I mean, it was like racing against a bunch of the old guys. And the only problem was it was young kids, and you get old guys like me running against young kids, you get wore out pretty quick,
Yeah.
But
isn't that something how the kids nowadays are? They're starting so early with them in the go-karts and stuff like that, and bringing them up, and I mean, by the time they get to the big cars, they're ready to go.
I tell you,
come to the Y with me. That'll make you feel young.
I need to really bad. I tell you, this winter, or actually this past summer, we'd planned on running this summer, but some things came up, personal things came up, and we were unable to, put a lot of that together, but. Things have kind of changed. It's got kind of back to normal again, and you lose a bunch of weight and then turn around and put it all back on, and it's like, man.
I'm trying really hard not to do that.
You guys still got your Speedline Racing products. Been selling any parts this winter?
Yeah, we haven't been real busy. Of course, like I said, some of our personal stuff that came around. We just kind of took a back seat to things this year to regroup and really see if this is the direction that we wanted to, continue on, and what we wanted to do and everything. And we just kept getting, good news and then bad news, good news, bad news. Finally, I think we got things settled down, and, we had actually talked about, selling the business and doing some other stuff, and getting rid of the race cars and everything, and, it was time to quit. But, the more I thought how much I enjoyed still messing around out in the shop. So I think that, kind of a little renewed interest. Now we just got to get the physical part back into it.
Well, here, I'll help you out a little bit. Since you were a great help when I got back into this game, you remember all the stuff you did for me. I mean, made me a sweet deal on a pair of shoes and gloves and this head sock and all that stuff that I didn't have. I have your bead breaker still in my shop.
That's where it went to.
Well, yeah, so go ahead and order one, and then I'll give you yours back when I pay for that one.
Okay, I can do that.
I was just going to say also that you can't close your shop up. I mean, what other places there to go to that you can pick up a brake line or a hood pin or a hood pin plate or rivets or
tear-offs.
Yeah, tear-offs. I mean, it was always handy having you guys around.
Yeah, and I could call Lisa and say, bring some tear-offs for me to the racetrack.
Yeah.
It's always been kind of nice. We always kind of took proud of, a lot of people, they make their living at it, and we'd like to. I mean, don't get me wrong. We enjoy it. We would love to make a living doing it. We just never went to that commitment. Derek Klima's in town now, with his stuff, which I guess I can say. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Derek and I always got along. We helped each other out tremendously. And, we talked about some things. And I'm not going to say, that we're trying to make any kind of deals with him, but with Derek and I had a conversation, and I think we're going to, between the two of us, I think we'll be able to really handle taking care of anybody and their needs between us.
Good.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So, yeah, I will still be around. I
You
think,
guys have
so.
you've been good to me. I appreciate it, and yeah, I can always call you and get whatever I need. So,
Well, we're getting better about keeping stuff. I mean, that's always been a thing. You hate to have a guy come over and say, "Well, I got to order it or I got to do something like that," which it worked, years ago. But we've done better about keeping some stuff in stock, and we want to get better, and so that way when you do stop by, you can
stop by in between jobs. Like, okay, I'll be off this time, but I'm going to my next job this time, so you got to be here then. And
yeah, exactly.
I always catch Lisa in between
Bobby's
jobs.
got 2 jobs, 3 jobs. Oh, yeah. Tell you what, too, if you want to, sit down sometime when you're playing around, you ain't got anything else going on.
Mm-hmm.
My crew has demanded that I get a new helmet.
Not a problem.
They don't want me to climb in that car next year without a helmet, a good one.
Well,
Heck, I'd drive without a helmet. It wouldn't hurt me any. But so play around, find me a helmet. I got a big melon, you know that. So
we can take care of you.
I tell you what, Jeff, we do this show every couple of weeks. We're going to run out of time with you real quick, because our other guest has showed up. But what do you think, Bobby? Have Jeff come back in a couple of weeks? We can finish this up.
Yeah.
Anytime, guys.
come back.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
Yep.
I always enjoy sitting with you guys.
We can maybe talk some old times.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'll get back to the
That'll
ping pong
take
table conversation.
That'll take up an hour.
There you go.
Jeff's the
Yeah.
only guy I know that invites his whole class out to come watch the races, brings people out to the dirt track that have hardly never been there, and then does a spectacular pirouette and a roll down the backstretch, has them all in panic. We can talk a whole lot about that in a couple of
Yeah.
weeks. How's that sound?
That's probably something you don't want to talk about.
Well, we always aim to please. You know how it is, no matter what. So.
Still gonna run the 18 car.
Oh yes, definitely.
Jeff, thanks for sitting in with us for a few minutes, and then we'll have you come back in a couple of weeks, and we'll do the whole thing.
Yeah, love to. Just give me a holler.
Jeff Olson, thanks, Jeff.
Thanks,
for coming
guys.
by. Bobby, how was your Christmas while we let those guys switch over guests?
Hey, grab Tyler when you go by, would you? It was good.
Did you have a good
Had
time?
a good holiday. Yeah, spent some time at the in-laws and at mom's, and did our thing at home. And yep,
I got to go down and visit with our friend Jerry Jones. That was a great time.
I seen pictures of you out there.
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, doing a great time. Had my daughter come by and join us for a quick lunch. That was spectacular.
It's always fun at Christmas time to see all the family and friends. And
I really had a chance to sit down and spend a few hours talking with Jerry about racing and working and all kinds of stuff. It was a great time.
That's
we
cool.
really need to get him up here sometime is what we ought to do.
yeah, he's not that far away anymore.
No, he can drive
He's
it now.
been like all over the country, it seems like, and now he's just a little bit away.
Make sure that thing's turned on. There you go. Okay. Tyler Frye joins us now. Tyler, thanks for coming down and visiting with us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
You've been
Appreciate
out
it.
eating and buying telephones and what all?
No, not yet. We just got new phones the other day with Verizon, so we had to go work on them. But other than that, we haven't went out to eat yet. So
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I thought you were eating. Yeah, that's my mistake. So. Look at you, got the jacket now, national champion, Northern Sport Mod. That's pretty spectacular.
Figured I better get some use out of it as long as it took me to get one. So figured I better wear it out pretty quick. Hopefully we can get another one.
Well, lots of rumors out there, lots of stuff going on. You're going up to the modified division next year, huh?
Yeah, we signed on to do an open motor deal with Harris Auto Racing, and we're all very, very excited about it. We've always wanted to go race an A-mod and do all that stuff, and it just suddenly came possible we could do it, so we jumped on the opportunity. And Kyle Brown and the guys there at Harris have been working really hard on their clay motor program and have made huge strides in that program. And we felt really lucky to be picked to to join them and help them work on it. So
You've had success with the Claimer motor, haven't you?
yeah, we have, and
Kind of got away from the crate. You do have a crate, don't you? Or
we
you did.
We did. We always were trying so much stuff in the clay motor area, figuring that out, that it was nice to have a crate sitting there for, something just in case if we wanted to try something else on the clay motor. I mean, Billy Fisher is in Wisconsin, so to ship stuff back and forth, it took a week or two. So we always had a crate sitting around. We never ran one. We ran one this year in another guy's car, but it wasn't our car. So, other than that, we haven't ran one since middle of 13.
I keep wanting to call you Troy. I don't know. Tyler.
Troy is not here tonight.
No, he's at home watching it, though.
While we're talking about Troy, it is so cool. I know you've been trying to get this championship for so many years, and it's so cool to see your dad to be able to enjoy it this year. And I'm sure he was probably all excited about your big win.
Yeah, he must have been. We even got him dressed up and tidied up all to go to the national banquet. So he must have liked it. But that was an awesome time too. It took us really till the national banquet for it to soak in that what we accomplished in the year, and they give us a picture with all of our stats on it, and we ended up with 60 wins, wow. 55 top fives, and 34 wins or something. And when you read all that out there, it's like, man, that was a dream season. And
Tyler, you go all through the summer, and I know your goal was to win this deal. And at about what point did the pressure really start to get to you? I know it had to, because we've raced for track championships, and it come down to the last couple nights, and it got kind of hairy. Where do we got to finish? And I know you had to have a lot of that going through your head toward the end of the summer.
Yeah, we all sat down at the beginning of the year and talked about when, if we wanted to even run for it again. And at the beginning of the year, it's easy. Everybody's ready to go. Everybody's wanting to do it. And so I'm like, let's run our, however many races. Come July 1st, let's see what we're at. And somebody said, well, what do we need? And I'm like, if we could have 15 wins come July 1st, we got a shot at it, and we should really go for it. I think we end up with 18 wins come July 1st, and it was an easy decision that we had to try it. And, it worked out. We still didn't know till the very last week that I guess 2 weeks before the end of the season, that we should have it. So
I know you probably have gone through the rule book 1,000 times as far as the points go. Can you kind of explain how the point system works as far as the track bonus points and the track points, and how does that figure into to the championship
for me
points?
It's really easy, but everybody gets 55 starts, and then you get to count your best 30 finishes out of those first 55 starts.
Okay.
You can race more than that, but that's all that counts is your first 55. And so then every point's 40 points, or every win's 40 points, and then seconds 39, thirds 38, so on. And then for your bonus points is where it always usually comes down to is your car average. Like we averaged on Thursday nights at Columbus, Nebraska, we averaged like 22 cars. So we got, in the max you can get 20 points. So we got 20 points for that track. And then we got, I think, 27 at Mayetta on Saturday night. So that give us our maximum of 40 points, and that put us at 1240, which is the max you could get. Second ended up at 1237. But he would have won the tiebreaker, and he came down when we were done and out of nights. He had 3 nights to go, and if he won all 3, he won the nation. So we kept track of it the whole time.
Did you go out there and race against him?
We did. We went to Marshalltown, where everybody thought he would be, and then he ended up not coming.
Oh.
And we stuck around there, and then we seen he lost an IMCA race that Saturday night. So we thought we should know that we won, and we headed home from there because this place he had to run on Sunday for points was 8 hours from home.
Oh boy!
And started at 7 o'clock Sunday night.
Oh boy!
And you have to work Monday morning.
Yeah, well, have to be to work at 7 o'clock. So it was like it wasn't going to figure out right.
No.
So we just headed home, and we got home then Sunday at like 5 o'clock in the morning. So.
Wow.
But
Had to been a.
It was
had to-
fun. I mean, we went to that World Nationals there at Marshalltown, and modifieds is clay motors only, no crates and stuff, and so it was fun to go watch that, being a clay motor guy and all. And that we love that track. We'd been there one other time, so it was fun.
You know, you've been in a BMS car, you know, pretty much your whole racing career. You've been in a modified, I think, haven't you?
Yeah, we've only not been in one race.
One race.
We drove Blake McMillan's jet car one night, and I think we ended up second or third in it. But yeah, every race from 2000. Let's see, we got our first car at the end of 2007. So that's I think we ended up. I think we calculated it was over 225 wins out of BMS shop.
Wow.
And we started. Never got a win till 08, so from 08 to 15, we had over 225.
So with the little shakeup at BMS, did that kind of stray you away from BMS cars and lead you more toward Harris, or I mean, what?
Well, yeah, I mean it's a whole long, drawn-out process.
Yeah,
I
I'm
really
sure.
don't want to talk about.
I'm
but,
sure that's fine.
So that all kind of went down, and we had talked to Kyle Brown kind of before it. I talked to him at Vegas, and I've always been really good friends with him and Brandon that worked there. Used to work for Kyle Strickler, and so I'd talked to him there. We never discussed nothing. But when all that went down, we seen our reason to leave, and BMS is always good to us. It's 2.5 blocks from my house.
Yeah, I know. How could you
it
do
was-
anything else?
You walk out my back door and you can see the BMS sign on it. So, that it's hard to leave a place like that. But with everything that went down, it was good to get out of there. And I just couldn't believe the support we got from other chassis manufacturers to work with them. So
Is it going to be tough to make the transition? I mean, you're so used to what you've had, but I mean, you are going from a sport mod to a modified. So, and I'm trying to stay away from calling them A mods because they're not, they're modifieds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
If Pam Conkright's watching this, she will yell at you.
Yeah, they're modifieds.
Yeah, I called them A mod when I was at Thunder Hill, and I thought I was going to have to give her a chill pill. She was on me, but
They are modifieds.
Yeah.
They are.
but,
I mean, is it going to be a big transition for you? You think you'll be okay? I mean, you got 2 steps here. You've got a new chassis,
yeah.
and then you got a modified.
Yeah, I think my biggest transition is going to be winning 38 wins last year. To hopefully we can win, 3 of them this year even. And I guarantee you, me and my crew will be the hardest working group out there trying to figure this deal out. But we got all the support of Harris behind us, our motor builder behind us. We got plenty of support, and I just hope I can pull it off as a driver.
I need you to look at the camera for a minute. Somebody's waving by to you.
Have you, now that you got all this set up, have you set any goals? I mean, are you going to try to go try for Rookie of the Year? Or
Wait,
do that
before you
much
go
racing,
there,
or-
where are you going to race at? That's what we want to know.
That's still in the air. I just don't know. We're going to hit everybody special. We're going to hit the special Beatrice, Salina, Hayes is special, obviously, and I guess we'll kind of have to dissect it from there. I think with our open motor program, our best bet's going to be probably Maeda on Saturdays, but there's good competition there. But to me, on an open motor, that'd be the best place to go. But we're not going to rule out any place or anything. So
Probably have to again wait till July and see where you're at. Huh?
yeah, I guess. I think we'll still probably do our Columbus on Thursday nights, but that's the only place to race on Thursdays around. So,
How far is Columbus from you?
It's just over 2 hours.
It's not terrible.
No, worst thing is on summer we only work 4 days a week, which is good, but I don't get off on Thursdays till 5:30 and the races start at 8. So I got to get off at 5:30, go pick up the crew, and when we get there, like last year, Sport Mods are the first ones to race, and we'd be pulling up, and I mean, there was one night we pulled in and our lineup was, our heat race was in lineup.
Oh.
And I was suited up and everything, and we didn't even get a set air pressure or nothing. We just rolled the car off. I jumped in it and went out and won in it. And actually, that was our first night in the other guy's car too. And everybody was like, how does that happen? But it's a cool track up there. It's a little quarter mile, and it's pretty flat, but only about 3 cars wide. So it puts a lot of driver into it. You know, in the Sport Mods, you got enough gear in it, it actually felt like you had some horsepower under the hood for once. So it's cool to go up there. I mean, we love every kind of track. So I mean, it was quarter miles to half miles for us all year. You know,
So,
different kind of stuff.
What kind of caliber of drivers run in the modified class there? I mean, who are we talking you're going to be racing against in Lexington?
Columbus.
Columbus. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Dylan Smith runs there once in a while. Grabowski runs there once in a while. Jared Hoffelman. There's some really, really good cars up there. They don't get the car count in the modifieds, but they got good cars. So, and I mean, we want to run for a Rookie of the Year, but we really want to get some seat time under us and see if we can, get up to winning the 15, 20 races a year deal, and just see what we can do, I guess.
Yep, you never know. Like I say, July comes around. Hey, look where we're at.
Yeah. So you're not going to rule out running for another national title in the other division, are you?
Well, no, but
you got to be realistic about
I mean,
it.
That would be
realistic.
tough.
There's just our first year in it, and then I mean, the quality of cars is just really good in this area.
But you would do it again.
Oh yeah, we'll run our 55, 60 shows. There's no doubt about that. It's in our blood now. We can't slow down. So we'll run all of our races we can, and where we end up, we end up.
So have you got your new car yet? When you get
No, we're looking like probably 3 weeks out yet, 4 weeks out. Finally dropped the money on a quick change, and man, I thought sport mod racing was expensive. Then I bought a quick change. So I mean, it's getting there. We really didn't end up with as much national point stuff as we thought we would to help us make the transition. So it's tight. I mean, we had all these big dreams, we're going to go pick up this car, we're going to pick up 10 tires, and now it's like, let's hope we can go pick up the car. But
and maybe 4 tires.
It's it'll be awesome. I can't wait to do it.
I'll bet. Yep.
Sponsors come with you. I mean, did you
Yeah,
have a few that stick
we
around?
actually picked some up. I don't thinking right offhand, I can't even think of one that we actually lost.
That's a good deal.
We brought everybody on board with us. I mean, all the motor people that were with us with the sport mods. I mean, EQ and Icon Pistons, all them guys came with us, and I mean, BSB obviously still doing all of our suspension stuff, and so the only big change is the class and the chassis. So
and the amount of money you're going to spend.
yeah, I mean, once we get rolling, it's not going to cost any more, I don't think. But
just getting to that point.
just getting
getting
the quick change going, and luckily we got Brandon Blocklinger sold us almost new transmission and bell housing he had used, and so I mean that helped out a lot too. We're not gonna jump into it full bore like everybody. We're still gonna be on the HEI distributor. We're not gonna spend all the money a lot of them guys do.
One thing about it I see is you're going to have Kyle Strickler as a teammate. I see he signed on with Harris again.
Yeah, he did. That's going to be huge for us because he's on BSB stuff too. So I already talked to Jay, and Jay said that Kyle was open to us whenever we needed him. So I think that'll help in there too. And I mean, I talked to Kyle Brown today. There's some more big names coming to Harris that people will really be shocked to hear about in the next probably week or two. So it's going to be a great group of guys to work with. I know that.
That's pretty cool. How, John Logue was the previous owner. How long has Kyle Brown been in Harris now?
It was maybe a year and a half he's owned it. Yeah, that's probably about it. I think it was around Boone of 13. So.
And just for the people watching that don't know, where exactly is Harris located?
They're like 3 miles from the Boone racetrack there. So
it's a trip up there.
Yeah, it's a 5-hour drive for us. But
now you know why the Harris cars are so fast at Boone. I mean, that's like they're in their backyard.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird when we were looking at doing this Harris deal, and my dad's like, "Well, who really around here runs a Harris?" And it's like,
yeah, there is
new Harris car. I don't know if there's one around, and it really surprises me, because when you go to Boone or you go up into Iowa, that's all you see.
Oh, I know.
And they just never came this way. And I mean, even at Beatrice, like Jordy Nelson has a Harris car there, and really, there's just no guy that runs them weekly.
I think the only one I could think of is there's a kid in Hayes that has that Harris car, isn't it? I don't know his name.
I'm not even sure.
But I think he's got a Harris car. But yeah, that's the only one I can think of around. So you'll be setting a new trend.
Yeah,
you'll be out here selling cars.
I don't know. Hopefully we can run good enough to do that. And Corey Lagrune keeps giving me static that I need to come race the lineup, but I just don't know if I can take getting hit by him weekly. So I'd end up on an old 2-link right rear like he is too.
But wouldn't it be fun to drive by him and then give it back to him?
I've always got along with Corey. He's an
it.
awesome guy, but last year he was fast at Salina, so it was fun to watch him there. But we didn't make it very often. But it's he's a hoot to listen to, that's for sure.
Him, and it comes to mind, Brian Nell are pretty laid back when it comes to racing, but boy, they race you tough on the racetrack.
Oh yeah, they do. I mean, they're both, seasoned veterans. They know how to make them cars work. If the car's off, they can still make them work. So, it'd be cool to run with a group of guys like that. They're some of the best out there, so it'd be fun to race with them. But just don't know where we're going to race or what we're going to do, and I don't know if you really want to race Beatrice. You got another great group of cars there too. So, racing. I know somebody told me Grabowski is running for a national championship again, so he'll be there weekly, and there's a great group of cars there too. And
what is it about Jordan? What is it? He is a tough competitor no matter where he shows up.
He is.
And is he in a GRT still?
He's GRT by Phillips.
Yeah.
He's quick. I don't know what he's got going, but all them GRT cars are quick, and everybody thinks it's the car, but I think a lot of it's they got a great group of drivers in them. Grabowski was really fast back when he had a BMS car too, so I don't know. The GRT is a good car, but I think Harris is better.
Well, okay.
David Murray's been a big mentor of yours for so many years, and he's leaving BMS also and going to a Razor, so he's going to be in a different car. I'm sure you guys are still going to talk.
We had the option of going to Razor with Dave, and a lot of ways it would have been good, but I think a lot of ways we can both help each other more too by being in different cars and trying different stuff. And I mean, what works for Dave probably wouldn't work for me either. So it's, I mean, it is what it is. And we really thought about following him, but when it came down to it, I think Harris was the best fit for us all around, and it worked out way better.
And you guys have been pretty much, I don't know, I've known you a long time, and you've been fairly innovative with whatever chassis you're driving. It has been a BMS for years, but I remember one of the conversations you and I had early on in your racing career, early on out at Hayes. This was when Ryan was still in the Sport Mod, and you told me since it was a 2-link car, you actually had to bounce it to get it off the bars and then back up on the bars because it wouldn't drive up on the bars with its horsepower. Do you remember that conversation?
Yeah, I remember that conversation. Yeah, I mean, the Sport Mods are just a weird thing to drive, and I mean, if you feel it, you feel it, and if you don't, I think it's not something you can just come along and feel. But I mean, even Delbert Smith, when he drove that orange car that I raced, every time he drove that thing, he goes, dude, there's something wrong with this car. You've got to figure this car out.
Yeah.
He drove it one Friday night, and he's like, there's something wrong with this car. And I'm like, dude, I just won last night in that car by like half a lap at Columbus. There's nothing wrong with the car. And finally he came down to them things that just are horrible to drive. And I'm like, they are. I mean, really they are, because they're hard to drive, but I think that's a lot of why you see like Clay Seller and Jesse Sabe and a lot of these Sport Mod guys that were fast in Sport Mod, they came into this A-Mod deal and modified deal and we're just as quick. And I think a lot of that's because that Sport Mod is a complete different deal. And that car we worked on with BMS this year, it took a lot of that out of there. That car, we finally had just thrown some big changes in it and tried a bunch of stuff we'd been wanting to try forever, and that car was perfect this year. But hopefully we can find that in our modified next year.
You got your Sport Mod for sale, I see. Have you got any?
Yeah, we're selling our
it?
orange car,
Okay.
my 2013, very fast car. I mean, I ran it, I think, 10, 11 nights, and we won 8 in a row with it at Columbus. That's the only place we ran it. It was nice. It was the only quarter mile we ran. So that car and the people that own that car, that's about the only track they could make it to, is closest track for them. And they're like, well, if you just want to race it on Thursdays, that's fine with us. And okay, so every week that car was, exactly the same as it was the week before. And it helped us win. I think we won 8 in a row, but one of them was in my car. And it was weird going from a crate to a claim every week, but we made it work a lot of times.
So tell us a little bit about the car that's for sale. I mean, what all goes motor?
It's a 2013. It's a roller right now. It's got 4 shocks on it. It's got all BS. The best of the stuff you could buy. I think I was looking at it the other day and needed some brake pads and front rotors, and it could go out and win races for the next 2 or 3 years easily. I mean, it was the 13 car and my car I had last year were twins. I mean, they were the 2 closest cars you're going to find out there, and that's what was easy for us to go back and forth from car to car. They were both basically the same, and it's a fast car. It's got a new right side door and quarter on it after Delbert decided to race it the last time. But
where do you race?
Yeah.
Where?
He raced the Mid America Clash here.
Did he?
Ripped the whole right side off of it, and when the car left, it had a brand new white body on it. I had hot lapped it at Columbus and all brand new aluminum, and it comes back and has one of Austin Carter's old doors riveted to it, and the deck all messed up. And I'm like, what are you doing, man? It's like we were both gonna go race Mayetta that weekend. He goes, no, I'm gonna go to Salina. We both can't win at the same place, so if we're at different places, we got a better chance. And this, man, maybe we should have done something a little different. In hindsight, that thing was beat up, but we we straightened it all out, flattened it all out, and went and ran Rising City, Nebraska with it like 2 weeks before Vegas, and won our heat race and was running third in the feature. And they have pretty much a no tire rule up there. You can run whatever tires you want, and it got really slick about halfway through the feature, and everybody that had on the non-stamp G60s, I mean, I had nothing for them at that point. So we ended up, I think, 7th or 8th, but it wasn't the car, it was the tires. So, I mean, yeah, I think my dad was telling me that they're wanting 5,500 with it, with new right side aluminum on it. So, I mean, it's really a steal for what it is. We messed up when we got that car. We did fluorescent orange. Looked really cool till you tore something up. And then last year we put all brand new underslung, updated the underslung under it. And there's no way to match that.
Yeah.
I mean, we tried every kind of spray paint. And finally I just threw some primer on it and we raced it. So, I mean, it looks rough, but it's still one of the fastest sport mods out there, I think.
Okay.
Today's tire aren't what they used to be, are they?
No, they're not.
I don't think they're made of real rubber anymore.
No, they're when you can pull wood chunks and stuff out of them, it kind of makes you wonder what they are.
Yeah, what do they use with them?
I mean, just we've taken tires and drometered them when they're brand new and drometered them when they're throughout their whole stage, and just the way they change is, I mean, crazy. And the way they wear, and they're just a weird tire.
You just reminded me of something. I got to pull the tires off of mine and bring them inside. I'll put them in my house. I don't care. I don't want them to get froze over the winter. They shouldn't out there in the shop, but I put them inside.
Yeah.
So, what else is in store for you for next year? Everybody's special.
Yeah, we're gonna run everybody special, and I'm not committing to any tracks until we get out there and race them. I don't know what the best thing to do is, I guess. It'd be nice to be back to Salina since it's our closest track every night on Fridays, but I mean, I just can't commit to it, I guess.
How long does it take you to get to Thunder Hill?
It's a little over 2 hours.
You live in Belleville, right?
Yeah.
How do you get there?
Straight down 36 to 75.
Okay.
I can't say it's not that bad of a drive, but that was the one track my stepmom went to every night, and I don't think I ever drove home from there. And so I was thinking about that the other day, and we were talking about it, and somebody's like, how do you put that many miles on? Well, last year everybody has their team duty, and she was just kind of always there, never really had a duty. I'm like, you can just be our driver. Just joking. And I think last year, I don't know if I drove to or from 10 races. So that was nice having a personal chauffeur, I guess.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's her Suburban, so, I mean, she can drive it, I guess. Thinking of that, I still haven't fixed. I mean, middle of the summer, you drive down the road and the air conditioner decides to shut off and goes to heat. I gotta work on that. Just in the front seat, it was nice in the back seat.
In the back where you were.
I still had air conditioning, but
yeah, that's that. That you're a technician.
Yeah,
it's either the door actuator motor, or something up front.
I bought them in June. I bought those parts to fix it in June. I never.
You
did
still
get
got
them,
huh? It's going to be close to a year by the time you fix that. You know that, right?
Yeah, if it gets fixed in that year.
That's what I'm thinking. Your stuff's always the last stuff to get worked on, isn't it?
Yeah, it's race car first.
That's the way most racers are, yeah.
And then if we got time, it's usually Saturday at like 2 o'clock, and you need to leave at 2:30. And it's like, oh, we better change that actuator. No, we'll worry about it next week. That's how it always turned out all year long. So
it's the way it goes.
I'm sure it'll be that way for a while.
Tell us about your Vegas trip. You had a pretty good run down there.
Yeah, you can't ever go wrong in Vegas, can you?
Track was pretty rough.
Yeah, they got to fix Friday and Saturday. I mean, it was still rough, but you kind of just got to expect that when you go to Vegas. The
Is it because they don't race enough there on that dirt track? You think that's what it is?
Well, they have the World Outlaws, and they don't have a rough racetrack.
Really?
I mean,
So what are they doing different?
I don't know if it's different track prep people or what, but I mean, it's every year it's bad. And this year, Friday night or Thursday night in our qualifier, I came into one time outside of a car, and I thought I had a little ways till I hit the big hole, and I mean, it felt like the whole corner I was in midair. I mean, the front tires wouldn't do nothing, the rear tires wouldn't do nothing, but still passed the car I was trying to pass. But it's rough, and I don't know why it is, but it's always fun. That was our 4th year going, and it's 3rd year racing, I guess. But my wife didn't get to go this year; she went last year. But it's always the same group of people we go with, and this year it wasn't that much fun. We got there Thursday it was probably about noon when we finally got there, and it was straight to the track and straight to the motel. And, so then Thursday night we were gonna go out. We were gonna go party. We just won. We all made not even a lap down Fremont, which is like 3 blocks, and we stopped and ate, and I fell asleep at the restaurant. And we were all jet lagged. We didn't sleep the night before because we flew out at 5 o'clock in the morning, and we never got recuperated. Well, then Saturday, I had booked all the motel rooms, and not thinking that we didn't fly out till Sunday, I only booked our rooms up through Friday night. So then Saturday night after we won, we didn't have a motel room to go back to, so we had no choice but to go walk Fremont and the Strip, and so that was fun. But other than that, we didn't really get a chance to go out and do anything.
So where'd you stay?
At the Plaza. It's on the old Strip, which is Fremont Street. So that's just where we've always stayed at. Eric Hogland with EQ Cylinder Heads gets us a rate there, and that's just where we've always stayed. And we stayed out somewhere one other time clear outside of town, and we just like the Fremont Street because you can walk it in 30 minutes, and there's some weird stuff on Fremont. But
Oh yeah.
but it's at least after the races you can go do something. The Strip you got to walk so far to go do anything. So it's kind of where we've always stayed, but it's always a fun time at Vegas.
We didn't see you at Super Nationals this year.
No, and I hated it until Tuesday. I finally got over it, but I mean, it was one of them deals where we could have been there, but I spent every vacation hour I had and every dollar we had trying to chase this national deal, and we knew we had 2 races left after Vegas. No, we were actually done, but we were going to go race against Tony Olson, who was racing us for national points. So we just stayed home and planned for the trip the next week so we could try to win the nation. And I wish I would have went.
It all worked out.
This was by far the best we've been, I feel. I mean, we've always struggled in that wet, heavy track kind of environment like Boone is, and this year is where that's what we excelled on. And I felt we were lacking in the dry slick area, so we went to Vegas. Everybody's like, oh man, you got it in the bag. And no, because we're not there in the dry slick program, but we actually had Jay at BSB go back all through our shocks and rebuild everything, and that car was awesome at Vegas.
So that leads me to this question: what track do you prefer now? Dry slick or tacky hammer down?
Next year on the open motor deal and the modified, I'm gonna have to probably think that we'd be better in the heavy hammer down stuff, but I still just love a dry slick track where where there's still moisture, but I mean it takes a driver to use it, and I've always been a dry slick guy, I guess. My favorite tracks are always the ones where the sprint cars are at because they're going to blow it off. But yet there's still moisture in them. I don't know what it is about a sprint car, but it seems like they can blow the moisture off, but yet there's still moisture
There's
in the
still
track. I don't know if that
traction
makes
there,
sense,
right?
but it does to me. So that's my favorite. But
Wherever there's a sprint car race, you're going to find Tyler Frye at racing behind it, right?
Possibly. It's always at Hayes is the one I'm thinking of, and then even Salina. It always seemed like the nights the sprint cars were there, it always had the best track, and I mean, it's probably a lot of it's in my head, I guess, but it just seems that way to me.
You do everything the same when you get in the race car? Or do you
No,
not
I
care? You're
don't.
not superstitious about anything?
I am some things, but not anything real big, I guess. I mean, I guess I can't really think of any, but I mean, we tried the whole chicken on race day deal, and that didn't work out. Other than 2009, we went to Hayes Fall Nationals with Delbert Smith and Sam Smith, and they hauled our car out there and everything. And my father-in-law, he hadn't been around racing all that much, and he went with us once in a while. But Sam is so superstitious
Oh, yeah.
about
Yes, he
chicken
is.
on race day.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he is.
And my father-in-law had no idea. I mean, just no idea at all. And he comes walking in from Walmart with chicken on the bone and just sets it right on the deck of my race car. And, I mean, I'm not even joking. Sam walked over there and he just looked at him straight in the eye and said, if you touch Delbert's car, there's going to be problems. And I'm just like, what is going on? Sam's like, he brought chicken to the racetrack.
And then I've heard
Oh
that.
my God. Oh God. So then I went into panic mode. It's like, Dwayne, no. And then we actually ended up going out and winning, and Delbert wrecked. But I'm sure that was my fault.
But and then I've heard that too. That if it's on the bone, it's not the what. Heck, I don't know, Bobby. Are you superstitious about anything?
Oh, the chicken thing, and that's about it. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
I hear
agree with the
rumors about
the chicken thing.
color green. Oh, Lagoons, you don't want to have any green on or be around them with any green on, or they go nuts. But yeah, just the chicken thing,
Yeah.
and it's probably crazy, but
No, it works.
So, yeah, there's not a whole lot we are, but I guess that was our same race at Rising City that we went to.
Thank you.
And I was going to prove that theory wrong, and we stopped at KFC, and then we ended up like 10th, and it was our worst finish of the year. So I
No
don't
more
think, I don't
chicken.
think we'll probably do that again. And Taco Bell is my other favorite, which in York, where you got to go through to get to Columbus, they're in the same. It's a Taco Bell, KFC together. So we stopped at Taco Bell one night, just me and my dad. And that was the one night we didn't finish the race at Columbus. So we're done with that place altogether.
Just not even going to get
Yeah,
close.
no,
huh?
I think the chicken grease made it over or something. I don't know, but
what's the Taco Grande do for you in Hayes?
oh, that's top
That's the
notch.
place, ain't it?
That is. I think it adds 2 to 3 tenths immediately. But it's usually because you're needing to get back to the restroom after eating Taco Grande. But there's a reason. I don't know what it is.
There's
but,
something about that place.
Yep.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got-
You can
eat
always
there.
count on
I
seeing
grew-
Tyler and the crew pulling into Taco Grande on it.
Every
Saturday
time
night.
we walk in, you're in there.
Yeah, I know. And
Yeah.
we're there too.
That's Bobby and his wife. She loves that place too. I think his
Yep.
whole family
I
does.
grew
It's
up-
good stuff.
I grew up with one in Concordia, and then all of a sudden it just closed. And
We used to have
I
one
can
here
remember, I bet 4 or 5 years ago, my dad called me, said, "Hey, we're going to Hayes to eat a Taco Grande. You want to go?" I'm like, you're driving all the way to Hayes to eat. Okay, yeah, I'm in. Just come get me.
We'll go.
I'll
Sounds like
take
a road trip to
5-hour
me.
road trip. To
They
eat
got one in
Taco
Abilene.
Grande.
Did you know that?
It's
This
closer.
was before that.
Oh,
closer than
this is
Hayes
before
now.
that. Okay. Yeah.
It was quite a few. It'd been a lot longer than 5 years ago. 'Cause my sister was still living in Belleville, so it was long because she went with us. So that's the only reason I knew that.
So where's your sister living at now?
Arizona?
Oh my.
Wow.
She make it out to Vegas to watch your race?
No.
Nope. You have a little one now.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
old?
6. He turned 6 in September, so he's
Doing a little go-kart racing too, huh?
he really hasn't got into it.
Really?
I think a lot of it's because, I mean, it'd be hard for us to afford to do it. I mean, the only way we do it, what I do, is with all of our sponsors. And I mean, I would love to be going with Corey and Kel and them, but so he hasn't really showed a big interest in it. But I haven't really taken the time to get him into it either. And probably should, but I just haven't done it yet.
Think he'll take I mean, he just doesn't seem to be that interested in it.
I mean, every time we go out, we build a track in my wife's grandpa's pasture that we just go out and play in. And I mean, when we go out there, he's fun, or he wants to do it, but he doesn't want to help work on the car. And I mean, that was when I was racing a go-kart. You know, my dad made me, if he was working on it, I was there helping. And I think that's a lot of why I haven't pushed him to do it, because he just doesn't want to help work with it either. But someday if he wants to do it. I mean, if he told me right now he wanted to do it, I'd drop everything and go do it. But he don't really get into it, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah,
You got guys coming over the house and helping you work on the car, or just you and your dad, or?
I got my brother-in-law, Stacy Sape, and one of a pit guy, or a guy that helps us most of the time and kind of always has. And I mean, there are only two. It would be Stacy Sape and Dave Wilbur. And I mean, it's awesome to have them help us, and we couldn't do a lot of it without them. And actually, I owe a lot of our national championship last year to Stacy Sape, because the first night at Mayetta, we were not going. I was in Salina at a softball tournament for my niece, and Brandon Blocklinger called me and goes, "Dude, I really want you to come to Mayetta tonight." I'm like, "I'm here. There's no way I can get the car ready." And we actually ended up meeting them at the track with the car. And I mean, he changed gears. He did all the tire work, or else we never would have raced Mayetta to have the car count to win the nation. So I got to thank him for that, I guess. But, you know, at the beginning of the year, we were planning on running Hayes, and that was our only deal. And we had a DNF there, so it kind of kicked us out of points a little ways. I mean, we still could have made it up, but we just felt it was probably better to stick with Mayetta after that. So
You started out the year, what'd you win, 8 in a row there?
We won quite a few there. I mean,
Starting out, I think it was,
it was probably close to that. I mean, we started off good, and really, I mean, we just never really had a bad weekend. I don't think we ever had a weekend we didn't win a race. So
wow.
I mean, other than rain outs and stuff,
Yeah.
but we won all 3 nights of a weekend, I think 3 or 4 times this year. And I mean, it's just,
Everything was just clicking. Right?
yeah, it did. And I mean, a lot of that's because we only had 2 DNFs all season long. So, or 3, I think we had 3. So
It
was, I mean, that's a huge help right there.
You went along there partway through the summer and had some engine trouble, and Walt Machine out west came through and kind of loaned you a motor. That was cool of them. Yeah,
it was, and we'd been talking about, they'd kind of wanted me to try some of their stuff before, and I was already on a motor deal and didn't really need it to do anything. And I just called them, just like, "Hey, this is what I got." And they're like, "Oh, you can come try this one. It's maybe a little wore out, and it's got this many shows on it." And, oh, okay. So we went and got it, and their stuff runs good.
It ran good, huh?
They build some really nice pieces, and they're not quite big enough to really give us the deal that Fisher was. And I mean, I appreciate everything they did, getting us a motor and letting us run one. And I think we ended up winning. Well, we won 3 out of 3 with it. And then the last night we ran it, we went to Beatrice, and I was racing with Greg Metz for the lead. and just lost my head, spun out in the middle of 1 and 2, and dropped back to 9th, and got back to 3rd, and we had a green-white checkered, and I messed up, or we probably could have won that one too. So,
Wow.
I mean, yeah, if anybody needs something close or needs a really good piece, I mean, them guys build some nice stuff out there.
You would you like to be thought of as a guy that takes care of your stuff? Do you watch your gauges, or do you just run it?
I don't. Under yellow, I might. And, I mean, a lot of that was why we were having the problems with our motor we were. But
You
at
run
the
them hot?
point- yeah, I mean, not hot, but we got them, a couple of them plenty hot, but not ever hot enough, I don't think, to cause major damage. But I don't remember what our problem was there, but I think it ended up being the distributor. But no matter what we did, oh no, we had an intake gasket, sucking vacuum between the intake and the head, and it would just, I mean, in a 3 laps into a heat race or 20 laps later, it was 240 degrees. Wow. It didn't matter. I mean, sitting there, we couldn't make it mess. I mean, just it drove us nuts, and that was actually the motor problem we were having when we got that motor from Walt. And I mean, we were running the same stuff we always had, and all of a sudden it's like you flipped a switch and the motor wouldn't run, and it started getting hot. And we fought it, and it was something easy like that. But I mean, other than that,
how did you finally find it?
Now Walt tore it apart.
Here it is.
No, actually, on that one, we thought the cam had went flat. So Billy Fisher sent us a cam, and we were gonna throw a cam in it, and we got the intake off, and I mean, the whole chunk of the gasket was missing, and it actually ended up, the heads and intake weren't done by Fisher. It was a motor I had, and it made it through 4 or 5 different people.
Sure.
And he done a whole bunch of work to them to make them back right, and it just, something wasn't lined up perfectly, or whoever put the intake on that motor didn't have them lined up, and just a freak deal. But I don't know if somebody tried starting with a carb hat on it, like one of my pit guys or something, just sucked them in. I don't know what happened, but we got it fixed, and we made it through it. So that was one night that we won at Mayetta. Was the temp gauge was dang near pegged when we pulled off, and I just shut it off. I'm like, probably the last night that motor will run. But it actually ended up running a couple more weeks.
They tell me if you shut them off and keep the water in them, it's better than if it boils it all out of it. I don't know. I've never had one that. Well, I have had one that hot, but it let go. So
well, I was at Mayetta, I was leading, and the motor was making me mad anyway. So it was like, maybe it'd be better if it did just blow up. And then afterwards, on the way home, it's like, that was stupid. But we won. Oh, that's stupid. Okay, it was fine. And now looking back that we won the nation, it's okay. But if we wouldn't have, it'd be like, that was a lot of money to waste for nothing. But
you were irritated with it, weren't you?
I was. And one night at Beatrice, I just started racing, and Dave Tronick came in really mad one night, and he just sat in the middle of the pits and held it wide open, just blew it up. I mean, just tried to blow it up, and my wife was with me. I'm like, I will never do that. And then I found myself just letting it get that hot, but it is, I guess.
So, where do you keep all your trophies that you won all summer long? You got
I don't
trophy
keep
room,
any of
or?
them. We give them to kids in the stands and stuff.
Really?
I mean, we kept all the specials and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But all season long, I just have a flag man or whoever give it to a kid in the stands, and
That's cool.
usually we end up getting them a T-shirt or something to go with it. But we got enough of them, and my son gets really mad when I do it, but he gets over it. He'd keep every trophy in his room if he could, but my wife gets tired of cleaning them, I think.
Yeah.
There are those of us
Yeah.
that don't have that many. Yeah, that's pretty admirable that you give those away.
Yeah, those the fun ones are like Hayes Fall Nationals. They have a big gold cup you always get, and I can never. I think I've won that 5 times, and I think I have the very first one. And other than that, somebody always steals that one. But then I had a 6-foot one from Salina's Fall Fling back when it was the Fall Fling, and it disappeared. Pretty much all the cool ones they take, and I get to keep all the ones nobody wants. But it's we give them to our sponsors and stuff too. So
The one out in Vegas was fairly tall, wasn't it?
yeah, it was. I think the coolest part that we got at Vegas was they had a custom airbrushed helmet and stuff.
Oh, wow.
That is like a real blue, metallic blue pearl color, like we like, and that was probably my favorite trophy part, other than the check. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was cool of them.
Huh.
About ready to wrap this up, Bob.
Yeah.
It's been pretty much, right on time here, and running a little long, but that's all right. Anybody you need to thank?
Just our sponsors. I mean, BSB and Harris. That sounds weird. It's the first time I've done that. That sounds really weird. But yeah, Harris Auto Racing. I gotta thank them for getting us back in a race car and everything they've done for us so far. And Fisher Race Engines and EQ Cylinder Heads are the guys that we could. I mean, we can't. It takes everybody, but I mean, them 4, they go the extra mile for us, and I gotta thank all them guys and thank you guys for having us on here.
What about the guy that got you out to Vegas?
Oh yeah, can't forget old Cyphers. I'm horrible at these things. I cannot remember people's names. I mean, that's what I told my wife when we were doing the wrap for this year. And I mean, I emailed the wrap guy about 6 times. With sponsors that we've had our whole racing career, and I can't ever remember. So I told him, I'm like, I put them in order, and I'm like, print me a little decal to put behind the A-pillar on the deck right there, a little cheat sheet with just all the sponsors' names on it. And the guy kind of looked at me funny. I'm like, I won 38 races last year, and I don't know if I ever once got every single person. So, I need a cheat sheet just in case I win a race. I'm like, oh, yeah. So,
Jeff hauled you out to Vegas and back.
Yeah.
Took Stacy with him on the way out there.
Yeah, Stacy rode with him. I bought Stacy a plane ticket, and instead he rode in the truck. But
he wanted to be with the car.
Yeah, he did. And he stayed with the car all week and got it through tech and stuff for me. So that was kind of nice. But yeah, Jeff is, he came on board. Well, he's always kind of helped us. He'll buy us some tires here and there. And usually by the time that happens, he's not on the wrap and stuff. So this year we put him on there beforehand. And I mean, people don't realize when somebody walks up and hands you 2 tires, just how huge that is for you. And so I got, thank him for doing that for us.
Yep, it all helps, and 2 tires is huge. I mean,
and I mean, we have some of our best friends up by Kearney, Nebraska. They'll show up at a race and go buy us some tires, and I mean, tires is something you go through a lot of.
Yeah.
And I mean, last year we probably kept better tires on our cars than we ever have. And that was just because we were winning and we could afford to do it, but we really still couldn't afford it. But it's a big part of the game is the tires. Yeah. I mean, you get tires and suspension. I almost think is a bigger deal than motors anymore. So it's it helps a lot.
Yeah, the motor thing. You just pretty much needs one that runs,
Yeah, when you can take
you don't
an
have
old
to
piece
work
of
on
pickup truck motor like them crates and go out and win.
Oh, ouch!
I mean,
ouch!
I mean, what can you expect?
Ouch!
Well, you're going to be you being on an open motor, you're going to have a huge advantage since they took the crates spoilers away.
I don't know about that. When they give us aluminum heads and roller cams, then I'll say we have an advantage. But you know, our motor guys spent hours and days and weeks and trying to, you know, get something that is as smooth as the crate, and it's just, I mean, he's a cam builder by day and motor builder by night. So, I mean, if anybody can do it, I know he can, and he's got us close, and it's just not possible to do, I don't think, on a non-roller cam motor. So we'll get there. We'll figure it out, I guess.
I'm
That's
sure
all you
you
can
will.
do.
Well, good luck this year. Of course, we'll be watching you, see where you go and what you do.
Yeah, we'll be around, that's for sure.
I predict you pick up, I'm going to say 10 wins. How about that?
Is that
good?
I think I'd be happy with just a few right now.
Okay.
But, I hope we can come out and win 10. I mean, I wish we could come out and win 30 and win a nation. But, I mean, it took us 7 years to do that in a sport mod, 6 years to do that in a sport mod. So, I mean, I just got to keep my head in it and not get discouraged by not winning a race every weekend.
That's
like
what's going to be tough.
And,
yep.
I mean, we're going to work our butt off to do it, but I think we have a good enough group of guys behind us we can.
Where you at with your racing career? Is this where you want to be? I mean, what else?
This next season is everything I've ever wanted to do, I believe. I mean, the sport mod deals treated us nice, got us a lot of big connections that I think will help us out into the next deal. So, I mean, I hope we can make the sponsors happy with what we do.
Yep, I think you'll be just
But
fine.
yeah, I mean, career-wise, winning the nation was more than we ever expected. I mean, we wanted to, but if we didn't, we weren't going to be. I mean, we were disappointed in the years we came so close and didn't. But I mean, it was nice to have. But I mean, really, it started out as a family deal, and I mean, I can't think of a night in the last 5 years I've went to the racetrack without my wife or my dad or, you know, something. We always have family there. So, I mean, to me, it's still that.
That's good. That's good.
That's what it's all about.
Yep.
You know, we got Joey Cleveland in the audience here tonight. I kind of scheduled Joey to be on the show with his sponsor, Jeff Cyphers, but Jeff couldn't get back here in time. I need to talk to Joey sometime and see about getting him on the program by himself.
Yep.
But
Have to do that.
we'll watch you this year. Good luck.
Thanks.
I'm sure you'll have fun wherever you go.
We'll try.
Anything else?
I don't have nothing. I just want to wish you the best this summer, and thanks for making the trip over to be with us tonight. And how was your Christmas? I guess we didn't even talk about it. Just you have a good Christmas and
Oh yeah, glad it's
Christmas
over.
time good. Yeah.
Then you know, my wife's like, oh man, in July she was done Christmas shopping for him and for our son or for all our family, and every time we went somewhere she was spending more money. It's like, come on, Christmas, we gotta get this over with. I got a race car to build.
Yeah.
But no, kid loved it, and that's all that matters.
That's good.
Yeah, that's what Christmas is all about.
That's
You know,
good.
as they get older, they don't look forward to it near so much as they used to.
Yeah, that's this year my wife's like, I didn't buy you nothing. I'm like, okay, I don't
Great.
care.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Christmas all year round when we're going to a racetrack.
There you go.
It's always Christmas for me, it seems
Yep.
like. But
Well-
she puts up with a lot, so I really got to thank her for
She's
putting
here
up with
tonight.
everything.
Who
I
drove?
mean,
Your stepmom's here. Who
no,
drove?
my wife did.
Your wife drove?
Oh, yeah, she scared the crud out of me. We were dodging through traffic. I'm pretty sure we pulled a dirty slide job on a guy.
Really?
I
A
mean,
dirty one?
He had to hit the brakes to miss us. It was that bad.
Because I called you and you were clear across
Yeah.
town, and then that's when she really
She goes,
turned
it's
it on.
only like 3 minutes. I'm like, we're in front of Chili's or something. And I'm like, that's quite a ways across there. I think we made it in 4.5.
Really?
You guys were here
You
pretty
did
quick.
good.
Yeah, she was a dodging.
So she
and
did a
weaving
dirty
and-
slide job on a guy, huh?
Yeah, right in front of like Harbor Freight.
Sweet.
Yeah, I've
So if
been
he's
looking at
watching
buying
and
her a
he's-
new car, and thinking now she needs to wreck this one first, and then we'll worry
Well,
about that.
If you don't sell the sport mod, there you go.
Yeah.
Put her in
She
it.
won't do it. I had bought some to point. I had ended up with an old piece of junk sport compact, and like, you should really drive that. And she would never do it. But I tried.
Tyler, thanks so much for coming down.
Yeah.
Greatly appreciate it.
Thanks for
Thanks to your
having me.
wife and your stepmom for coming down with you tonight. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I want to wish everybody a happy New Year.
Yeah,
coming up
a couple of
this
days.
week. Yep. So he'll be next year before we're back again.
2 weeks from tonight. So we'll be back at it. For Bobby Potts, Tyler Frye, Bill Grant saying so long. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Hey, we didn't thanks Dave.
Oh, yeah, Dave.
Big thanks to Dave.
Yeah.
Big
and
Dave.
I didn't get a whole bunch of texts from him tonight, so he must have been doing it okay. So we're great. Anyhow, thanks for joining us again tonight. This thing will be on our website, and I think he's going to archive some of these. He better. So thank you so much. We'll see you in 2 weeks.